Hello, folks. Just had my chicken curry. I could eat that stuff as a soup with crackers if I wanted. It's so good. It's so good. We're going to touch up on a subject here that not many vloggers on here care to talk about. No, they don't, because they're all virile, right? They bang 20 women a week, right? No, they don't. No, they don't. Bullshit. That's what we're going to talk about briefly on here. I'm not going to do a really long show here. Whoever shows up, shows up. I mean, just listen to it later. I got a movie to watch here, so which is hard to find something good these days on there because I've seen probably all of them. Yeah, we got the whole. It's like a party house here. Vacation Central, Frank and Gilda's house. Relatives come over here to visit when they don't have school, or they even bring their neighbor over here. Let's go on a free vacation to Frank's place. Why not? Why not? Is what it is, folks. It is what it is. But if you're just tuning in, we're going to have a short discussion here. Philippines Guru, rock and roll, Philippines Guru. As I said, we're not going to do a long show here. I want to watch a movie. I usually watch a movie after dinner. Yeah, so welcome. And we're going to cover a topic here that vloggers are afraid to talk about. And they bullshit a lot about their little endeavors sexually out here, how virile they are, and they're banging 20 women a week on their vacation. Well, I'm going to tell you that that's bullshit. That's what I'm going to say to you. Poppycock bullshit. That's what I say to that, okay? There's something called low T, which means low testosterone. And that puppy starts kicking in about age 40, maybe even earlier. And you lose about 1.8% of your testosterone every year after, age 40. Now, by the time you're in your 60s, and certainly even your 50s, and certainly in your 70s, you got low T. Now, some men, they want to get a testosterone therapy, which is not advised. It's not advised. Some people have heart problems with that. You got to watch that. Now, if you get testosterone therapy, yes, it is true that you will feel more vigor, more sex drive, more punch to the lunch, if you know what I'm saying. Okay? Yeah. 2 a day, huh? How old are you? May I ask? I don't do 2 a day, but I'm not going to talk about my sex life, but I definitely don't do 2 a day. I sometimes don't do 1 a day. I mean, everybody gets in a mood. When you first meet a gal from here, man, you're like really excited. I mean, you're ready to go. And actually, in the early part of your relationship with a Filipina out here, you're gung-ho 3 times a day or more. You figure you're going to be going home. If you're going to be hanging with that same girl, you want to get in as much as you can, right? And perhaps so does she. Good for you, right? Come on, thumbs up, folks. The best topic in the world is right here on my channel. Damn. But when you hear all these stories about, let's get real now. So we're going to get as real as we can. I don't. I was referring to Jay, real deal. Oh, boasting on. I bet you. Look, let me tell you something. I think that's bullshit too. He's like, what is his age? Late 40s? He's in his 50s? I don't know what the hell he is. I don't know. He drinks and smokes. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you smoke and you drink, you may not even be able to get it up. Combination of two. Okay? Don't listen to these bullshit stories, because that's all they are. They're bullshit stories. I've done enough reading on this myself to understand it. If you want to have a good relationship with your partner, wife, girlfriend, whatever she may be, or even a one-night stand, you got to understand what her needs are. Most guys don't give a shit about the needs of their woman. Open up your legs and let me do what I need to do. Go to fuck home, right? If you are serious about a woman, okay, you're going to learn what makes her feel good. Otherwise, you're being selfish. And you're not going to have a good experience if both of you guys could climax and help each other. Whether it's talking dirty, some people like to do that. Whether it's external stimulation, watching pornos, which I don't really get into. Or, just understanding, people talk about the G-spot and all that. The vulva, the clitoris. When a guy in a porno movie, for example, which you don't understand about them, a lot of them can't even ejaculate. No, they don't. A lot of them can't. And a lot of them require other stimulation. They're holding phones, actually watching pornography while they're being filmed on a pornography film. Guys that are 10 inches and bigger, they're not satisfied. They're not hitting those special spots. She's not enjoying it. She will get more enjoyment out of self-masturbation than she will with a 10-inch fucking foot long or whatever. She's not. It's not the size. Because you're not hitting those spots. Women don't enjoy big kazoogas. They just really don't. It might be a visual delight to some women, but in actuality, it's not pleasing her. And an added bonus, she can be hurt by that. Only on my show you're going to hear stuff like this, okay? Come on, thumbs up. You know this is a great topic. I'm not going to be on here long, but I want to get the facts out. Yes, after a certain age, men lose like 1.8% of testosterone every single year. It's a downhill slide as you get older, folks. I hate to tell you that. And if you're already up there in years, you're in your 60s, you're not the man you used to be. You're not the man you used to be. It's a fact. I'm not the man I used to be. Hell no. And guess what? A lot of times, I'm not talking about myself personally here. Let's talk in general, okay? You're not going to get an intense orgasm. It all has to do with the low T, okay? You remember when it used to just explode? Like, only Frank could come up with this. You don't get that anymore. Some guys do. Some guys. But it's rare. You know, you feel like a volcano's going to explode, and you feel a chemical going from your feet to your head. You feel it through your arms. You feel it through your whole torso. Most guys, above 40, 50, 60, etc., and onward, they don't feel that. Oh, they get a little charge, but they really don't get that explosive nature that they used to get. You know, when you were a teenager, you want to put your dick into any fucking orifice you could find. A hole in the fucking wall. Put a hole in the fucking watermelon. You didn't care. Your testosterone was jumping and jumping and jumping. You just needed to deposit your fucking schlong into something. I had a urologist guy that used to joke about that. He said, well, and he was an older guy, you know, and he said exactly that, actually, that you're thinking about sex like every 15 seconds in your mind, whether you know it or not. When you're a teenager, you're thinking about sex every 15 seconds. That's all you're thinking about. They can even do homework sometimes. They might have met a girl and all they're thinking about. Maybe they never had sex before. Maybe they're afraid of performance. Now, what kills men's sexual experiences? They're afraid of their performance. Now, why are they afraid of their performance? You're asking me. I'm going to tell you why. Because too many people watch porn and they believe. I've read a whole article on this thing. Okay, by sexual experts. I read up on everything. Now, there's this expectation for performance. There is, people think that what they see in a porn film is real. It's not real. It's not real. The woman will be a little bit more audible on there, like she's screaming her brains out for effect, because she's not really feeling it. She gets slonged so many times by guys, she's not even feeling it. And usually they hire guys that have really, you know, Nathan hot dogs on steroids, okay? Big schlongs of that kind of, it does not satisfy a woman. They're not able to hit those little G spots. Well, the G spots are basically the clitoris, the vulva area, okay? They're not hitting those spots. Women are not enjoying it. However, oral sex, well, that's a whole nother story. Women will get more pleasure out of oral sex than they will with penetration. That's right. Not a girl I ever been with didn't orgasm from me. Now you think I got a big mouth on here? Wait till I put it in action. Let me tell you something. I make them scream, all of them. All of them, I tell you. I know how to please a woman. I think of her needs above mine. That's what you got to do. So most of you studs out there, they're banging away at all these women and they're putting notches on their belt. They're not satisfying a woman. It's just satisfying themselves. Yeah, woman, open up your legs. Let's get it over with. Now you got a sister? Let's do her too. That's pretty much the mentality of a lot of these foreigners, isn't it really? Where's your sister? Is she game too? Why don't you bring her in on this? Loving men, of course. Foreigners are all loving men. They already got the best interests of these Filipinos in mind, of course. You know they do. But low T, and I really don't suggest anybody. Now, for those guys that feel they have to need the blue pill, or I don't know what color Cialis is or anything like, I wouldn't do that often. I wouldn't do that certainly more than a couple of times a week. I really wouldn't at an elderly age. I don't think so. Fortunately for me, I don't really need a blue pill. The only time I think I've ever had problems with any of that sort was years ago when I was on a certain medication that completely destroyed, many years ago actually, completely destroyed your libido. And some of these medicines can really interfere with the ability to be able to not only get your libido going, they interfere with your libido. So you don't want to be on anything like that. Stress can interfere with it, okay? And your mind being preoccupied with work, a job, or something else. Best way to have sex? Have a glass of wine. Then you together, you have foreplay. Don't be afraid to touch her. Sex is not just penetration. This is where the guys get it all just discombobulated. Sex is not just penetration. It's everything. It's arousal. And for what people don't understand about all these meds for guys that may have an erection problem, it's not the medicine itself that's going to make this medicine work. It's arousal. People think they'll take that kind of medicine and they got a fucking baseball bat. They're saluting the flag. It don't work that way. Go look it up. It don't work that way. You got to be aroused. You got to be aroused, or else it doesn't work. Now, you might see teenagers using that recreationally. They don't need it. They're ready to go any time of the day. Bring her on. Bring her on. But the realistic outlook, okay, let's get hard on this. Excuse the expression. But these guys that are claiming that they're banging women all week long, I don't buy it. You're at an upper age. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. They're bullshitting you. Oh, yeah, I got this one last night, and I got 2 women the night after that, and I got another woman the night after that. I had a threesome with 3 of them, 4 days after that. Bullshit. Bullwinkle. You probably did not have penetration with all of them. I'll bet you. I bet you sat there and jacked off is what you fucking did. And a lot of these guys will get more self-pleasure from manipulating themselves than they would with penetration. Some guys can't even orgasm during penetration. Why? They're having trouble with their libido. Because you have to work up to sex if you want to achieve orgasm. You want to get your libido going. There's no blue pill or anything that's going to affect your libido. That doesn't exist. It's the arousal that affects your libido. Okay? You got to start off. Oh, gee, I'm just going to bang her. Make love to her. That's what making love is, not banging a woman. But even if you want to bang a woman that you're not in love with, you're not going to have a great sexual performance if you don't lead up to it slowly. Caress. Show her you care if you really give a shit about her. But, even if you don't, make believe you do. Caress her. Let it lead up. Don't just, okay, once the clothes, okay, spread your legs. I'm going to bang you now. Okay. Go for it, honey. See what you got. That's all bullshit. It's bullshit. You know it and I know it. Just that I'm not afraid to talk about it. If you can't learn to please your partner, she may find it somewhere else. And they do. Having sex is just not banging your woman. That ain't having sex. You call it that. Please her. Oh, it's just you? You expect the woman has to please you? That's fucking selfish shit. She will appreciate you more if you show affection and lead up to the penetration part. And guys that talk about that their dong is bigger than somebody else's, they're full of shit. Probably isn't. And even if it was, too long is not good. She's not feeling it. You're not hitting the right spots. All your sensitivity in her has to do with certain areas of her private parts. And you know what they are. The head of your penis contains a bunch of nerves, and you're not going to get stimulated by shoving in a 12-inch dick up the Guadalcanal and think that you're going to get satisfaction from that. In fact, you can hurt her. She can bleed, okay? So when you hear these bullshit stories from these foreigners, I'm banging them every night. I got a new one every night. You're full of shit. If you're in your 60s, you're full of shit. If you're in your 70s, 80s, you're full of shit. And maybe if you're in your 50s, you're also full of shit. Okay? Unless you're Superman. Your testosterone sunk, my friends. It's called some of the horrible, discouraging things that happen when you age, that Mother Nature spits on. Mother Nature throws you a curveball. That's just part of getting older. Your orgasms are not going to be as sensational as it was when you were a younger man. They're just not going to be. When you used to shiver all over, shiver me timbers. Well, your timber ain't going to shiver that much because you're not feeling it like you did. That's right. And if you're one of these fucking dudes that, even though you're having all the sex in the world and you masturbate in between, you're fucking yourself over. Why, you ask? You are removing the sensitivity. That's right. There are guys that masturbate 5 times a day, plus have their girlfriend. And then they wonder, gee, why ain't I feeling anything, Margaret? Is it me, honey? No, honey, it's not you. I think it's me. Take away the nerve endings are not as sensitive, okay, and it's going to be harder to achieve an orgasm. That's what happens. And a lot of times, guys cannot have an orgasm or ejaculate while having or penetrated sex. Why, you ask again? Because they're not working up to it. They're not charging up their libido. Or hers. They're not, okay? And maybe because you goddamn masturbate too much. And what you don't know about sex is that probably 90% of the sexual experience is in your head. There's no problem with visualization. You can think about anybody you want, okay? You can think of some gal you seen on TV that was hot. You can watch porno while you do. You can do any of these things if you care to do that. Whatever works, it floats your boat, okay? You can become The Rock. The Rock. You don't need a blue pill. You don't need a blue pill. Have a glass of wine and relax. And lay around a while naked and gently touch each other and stimulate each other. After a certain amount of stimulation, she's ready to go. You're ready to go, and you're not going to have any problem. Unless you got some outside stimulation that's fucking your brain up. You're thinking of problems. You're stressing out about something. You had a bad day's work. Okay? Somebody gave you shit that day. You're in a bad mood. You're not going to perform. That's just the way we're. Fuck the blue pill. Fuck the blue pill. I think most guys, unless they actually have something in their mechanics that's not working, okay, should never have a problem achieving an erection. Some people say when you get older, you can't. No, that's not true. You could have an erection till you're in your 90s. You need the proper stimulation. You need to work up to it. Make your woman feel wanted. Make her feel cared for. Caress each other for a while. It's 20 minutes. Charge her up and you'll get charged up. She'll also see that you're a caring person, that you're not selfish, that you just want to bang her, get it over. Who cares about her feelings, right? Who cares whether or not I'm satisfying her as long as I'm satisfied? Isn't that the typical foreigner out here? Probably. What about 2 a day, Jay, Brevis bang a lot, slamming bomber, rock hard Ricky? Look, let me tell you something, guys. These guys can tell you anything they want to tell you. It's whether you want to believe it or not. You better talk to science before you talk to them. Because if you smoke and drink, let me tell you, the combination, and if you're on any kind of particular drugs, maybe for hypertension, diabetes. If you're on diabetes, fuck that. Forget about getting an erection if you've got some heavy-duty diabetes going on. Ain't going to happen. So you hear all these people saying they're getting all the broads and they're banging them and all this shit. Don't buy it because you don't know what's going on. Maybe the girl gets naked or something. They just sit there masturbating because they can't do anything else. Maybe they come on her. Maybe that's what they do. Boy, am I graphic on this show. You know I can't keep this show on, so you better record it. And I'm sure they will. But maybe they'll learn something from this. That's the good thing about here. Record it. Put it on the Copycat channel. Maybe they'll learn something. What do you think about that? You think they'll learn something? Look, I'm not a sexual expert, but I've been alive long enough, and I've been with plenty of women in my life, and there's no question about that. There's no bullshit about that. I know it pleased a woman. I absolutely know, no matter what age I'm at. I'm not hanging bang, you know what I mean? When I'm with a woman, she deserves my time. Whether she's an overnighter, whatever she might be. I'm going to do my best, not only please myself, but I'm going to do my best to please her. And you could ask her. There's no shame in asking a woman, tell me what pleases you. Tell me what you'd like me to do. Because she doesn't know her very well, right? And you haven't spent too much time with that woman. You got to know what pleases your partner. Maybe she likes to talk dirty sex. Maybe that turns some guys on. Maybe they like external stimulation, watching porn. All of that is acceptable stuff if you want to get into that. But if you don't want to please a woman, you're not going to get the best out of your sex because you want her to be satisfied, right? Because you're the man, right? You're the man. You're the alpha male, right? Right. Because if she's pleased, it means you did a damn good job, didn't you? Well, I got news for you there, Einsteins. A lot of women fake it. They fake it because, men's egos are very easily damaged, and they'll moan and groan and act like they really like you. This big fat guy with a hairy chest, smelly armpits, ugly, toothless. Oh, yeah, they're definitely turned on by him. We could figure that, right? No, they're not. No, they're not. Good hygiene is another thing for good sex. Good hygiene. Shower before and after sex. And after you have sex with a woman, urinate. In case you get any extraneous bacteria, and you can. That should be a habit for all to do. Shower before and after sex. Are you guys learning something maybe you didn't know? Oh, did Sis say something? Dr. Root! Dr. Root! Dr. Frank! Dr. Frank! I know a lot about a lot of things. I know a little about a lot of things, and a lot of things about a lot of little things. Okay. I don't just read about health issues and vitamins and all that shit. But you should. How about L-arginine? The amino acid L-arginine or L-citrulline together, which help push the nitric oxide in your system. That relaxes your muscles, which allows for greater blood flow. I bet you didn't know that. And you're taking a blue pill. You're taking a dangerous blue pill. You don't need a blue pill. Go buy some L-citrulline and L-arginine. They are amino acids. And take it regularly. Okay? It deals with the smooth muscle tissue in your fucking dick. Okay? When it relaxes, certain cells, the sheets on the veins and arteries. It allows for better blood flow, more oxygen, and more nitric oxide. It's the nitric oxide that does the trick. And you're not getting enough. So you could supplement with L-arginine and L-citrulline together. You could eat tons of watermelon. You could do that too. There are things you can do without having to rely on some fucking piece of shit pill. If you learn to know what your woman likes and you see that she really is appreciating what you do for her, you're not going to need a pill, okay? If you learn how to stimulate each other slowly. Not like, okay, take your clothes off, spread your legs, bitch, and then you bang her. That is so fucking shallow, even for an overnight stand. If you're going to do an overnight stand, at least do it well. She may not want to see you again after that. If you can't make a woman feel good, she don't want you anymore. Oh, no thanks. Once was enough. Besides, you smell, your armpits are horrible. You probably didn't bathe. And I don't like that big, ugly, hairy chest, that big fucking, huge fucking stomach that's in the way of everything, really. And, toothless, bad breath, alcohol breath. She don't want that shit. Oh, you think she does, right? Oh, because you're the man. Because you're the man, right? You're the man. You think you're a real stud, don't you? No, you're not. I bet most of you out there are not no fucking studs. You come to the Philippines, I'm going to bang all the women I can, so when I go home, I can tell my friends, yeah, I banged 15 people in the 2 weeks I was there. Hey, here's the pictures. You want to see them? They sit around in a circle jerk or something, right? Sick fucking bastards. Sick fucking bastards, really. Sick bastards. No, they're not all studs, trust me, and I'll end it in a minute. They're not all studs. Learn how to please your woman, and you will please yourself even more. Don't matter what you can do. You could be, the French fry guy who dresses up in captain's uniforms and shit like that. Or as a pirate. You could pretend to be dressed like a scene in a movie, you know? You like little parochial schoolgirls, do you? With the parochial little plaid dresses on, do you sick motherfuckers? You can do that too on your adult woman. Can you dress like a nurse, honey? Can you put that little parochial school dress on so you look like a little fucking underage girl? You sick bastard. You do all that shit, right? As long as she's an adult, you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to wear a patch on your eye and wear a pirate's hat and put a fucking parrot on your shoulder and a peg leg, you can do that too if it turns you on and turns her on. Whatever works, dudes. But don't pretend you're this big stud. I got 2 women a night. I'm fucking 2 women a night. No, you're not. And if you smoke and drink, no, you're not. 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 Which you may call sex with 2 women a night. Maybe you are having sex. It does not mean you're penetrating. It does not mean you're completing the process. It does not mean that you're keeping an erection. It does not mean that you are virile at all. And you have low T at your age, and you are not performing like you were when you were 30 and 20 years old or 15 years old. Okay, it ain't happening. Shut your mouth. You're full of shit. Most people who study this know exactly what's going on. You don't have to study it. You just experiment. If you give a shit about you, woman, you make her happy. And guess what? You'll be happy too. So you're a stud, huh? Coming here to the Philippines, banging them every night. No, you're not. No, you're not. You may get them naked. Doesn't mean you're banging them. Maybe they'll do something oral on you. Maybe you'll just, do yourself in front of her to get off because you can't do it any other way. Oh, I bet. I bet there's a lot of that's going on. Oh, I bet you. Studs? I don't think so. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. Studs my ass. Hey, how'd you like my shit? Channel of truth, after all.